Hello there. It's time once again for a social sports pad podcast. Week 3 in the NFL is coming up, and I'm Ricky alongside Justin and Ben for another edition.
Hello.
So, what we have on tap this week is we're going to look back briefly on week 2 and look at the games Monday night. We're gonna look at the game that came on Thursday between the Steelers and the Browns, and look ahead to the games that are coming today. We're gonna shit. Yeah, definitely gonna start that over again. Right. 3, 2, 1. Hello there. It's time once again for a Social Sports Pad podcast. I'm Ricky, and alongside me, as always, is Justin and Ben,
Good
and
morning.
we're here to talk Week 3 of the NFL. What we have on tap for today is a little bit of a brief look back at Monday night's games between the Bills and the Titans and the Eagles and the Vikings. We're going to look at Steelers and Browns really quick, give you a quick prediction of the week 3 games, and then what we see overall going on in the NFL. We have 6 teams that are 3-0, and we're going to see which ones are going to keep that going and which ones are going to fall off the train. So, speaking of a train, Ben, you sound a little bit, tired, man. You had a rough night last night.
Oh man, yeah. I went to Secrets last night in Ocean City, Maryland. Yeah, I could use me some W Energy. Speaking of W Energy, check out the promo code below. Save yourself some 10% swag on any of your energy needs. That's SSPP 10.
All right. You heard it, folks. For any energy needs after a rough night or a quick pick-me-up, just go to W Energy and order some of that using our promo code. All right.
SSPP 10.
Said SSPP 10?
Correct. It's Social Sports Pad Podcast 10, abbreviated.
Very nice. All right, so we are going to first cover the Eagles-Vikings game. What did you guys see?
I expected Minnesota to play better than they actually did.
I didn't know what to expect from the Vikings because they played the Packers, and the Packers played really well on Sunday.
Oh,
so,
yeah. I mean,
what Vikings team was I going to get to see that day? Evidently, the Vikings of old.
I mean, it's something that you Ben definitely should have been used to seeing. The prime time Kirk Cousins was definitely playing like prime time Kirk Cousins, and as most of the Commanders fans know from Kirk's days in Washington, it's not that good.
I'm sure they'll rebound, but
his problem is that he's good. Problem is that he likes to force his passes too much. I think he's a Carson Wentz light. That's my opinion. He's a good quarterback. He has superstar potential, but he just is careless with throwing the ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he has all the potential in the world. I mean, he's a 5th or 6th round draft pick, and I honestly wanted him originally instead of RG3 anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a veteran, but still, like, he's I think the stat was like 2-10 on.
I mean, you can throw picks like Brett Favre, but you got to win.
Yeah.
All right. So, That also says something about the Philadelphia defense.
I mean,
Definitely
the Phillies are good. The Eagles are good.
I mean, the Philadelphia Eagles defense is good.
I
What worries
think the addition of it to the Eagles offense is good.
I haven't looked into his stats.
I think that's paying off because he's having pretty good games.
I haven't checked.
I thought about picking him up for fantasy, but someone's got him already. But
he has 224 receiving yards, 15 receptions versus Curtis Samuel with 15 for 133 yards. But Curtis Samuel's also been dinking and dunking, so that's kind of a inflated number.
Yeah.
Right.
So we'll cover the games, because that kind of brings up a fun little point for Philadelphia versus Washington today. So we'll kind of keep that in the back pocket. But the other game Monday night, could you even call it a game? Between the Bills and the Titans.
It was over by the fourth quarter.
It was over by halftime. What are you talking about?
Just like the Ohio State game last night. That game was over by halftime too. I was like, geez, they were slaughtering.
But then again, with the way the NFL has been the past couple of weeks, there is no lead that is safe.
No, not at all. There was
Washington almost came back.
There was 3 teams that almost blew leads last week.
Yeah, and then the week before, like a few teams blew leads. So
Miami coming back 24
in GTA.
Huh?
That's why I'm weary about the Dolphins at being 2-0 because they got down 21-0. They're not going to be able to bail themselves out all the time like that.
I mean, like, it was also Baltimore's defense. Like, if somebody were to tell me 2 weeks ago that Miami was going to come back from 21 down in the fourth quarter to beat the Baltimore Ravens, I'd have laughed in your face.
I mean, the same thing about the Jets beating the Browns in the last 2 minutes. The Jets were down 31-14.
I mean, this is a new wave of the NFL now. Like, we are definitely in an age where scoring is quick, scoring is easy, scoring is prevalent. People that are like,
kind of seems like defense don't matter no more too much.
I mean, that's why I'm not worried about the Buffalo Miami game because I think their offense will put up to squeak it out somehow, just by a little bit. I don't think it's going to be that. I don't know.
No, that's doesn't put in the back pocket. But that was.
Anyways,
that was. Buffalo's had a rougher schedule. They had the defending Super Bowl champions.
But they haven't acted like they have a tough schedule, though. They've been
absolutely like it's almost like Buffalo's still in like playoff mode.
Honestly, they're on a revenge tour, and that's my unbiased opinion that they're on a revenge tour, and nobody's going to stand in their way because they came here for one thing, and they're going for it, and it doesn't matter who's standing in their way.
It's definitely.
Let's be real. If they would have beat KC last year, they probably would be the Super Bowl champs.
They definitely would have beat Cincinnati. And I argue with people over that all the time because Cincinnati's offense is not that great, and Buffalo would have won that game, and they probably would have beat the Rams.
I don't know. We talked about last year, like if Buffalo had won. No, I definitely do not see that either team would have been in the Super Bowl between the Chiefs or the Bills because of the way they played each other. Like they knocked each other out. It was absolutely.
I mean, I know we can't go backwards, but just
yeah. But
I'm just saying that Buffalo's. I'm just trying to plug it in from last year that Buffalo's on some kind of revenge tour, and it doesn't matter who's in their way this year.
I mean, yeah, seriously, the past like 2 years, Buffalo has looked really good, and then
They, I mean,
just couldn't get
I
past
mean,
the Chiefs in the
they went
playoffs.
through. They went through after that loss for Jacksonville. They started to rebuild when they lost to that playoff
No,
to Jacksonville. They've rebuilt their team to an absolute scary to being one of the best teams in the league.
and I mean, most are saying they are. But yeah, going back to the Titans game,
Oh yeah.
like we can, we have heard and we have talked about how good the Bills were.
Mhm.
You know, now the Titans, like it just seems to me that
I didn't know what was wrong with Tennessee. That's not what I expected them to come out and play like that.
yeah,
I
they
expected if they're not too good.
I mean, I know Tennessee's not that good, but it was not even close.
I mean, they played flat. Honestly, the Bills made sure they contained their best player.
That's what it was. They contained Derrick Henry, and they kept Derrick Henry to 25 yards throughout the whole game, and that's impressive.
Yeah, definitely. The last time we saw like Derrick Henry put up like 25 yards in a full game was I think like 3 years ago. Back
I
when
mean, Tannehill was
people were
Tannehill was
benching.
I mean, Tannehill was making mistakes, and it wasn't not.
It was all around.
Yeah, the whole team. It was just I said I knew as much as Tennessee was bad, I didn't expect them to come out in there and play like that. I thought it was going to be close, because Bills and Titans have played quite a few close games over the years, past couple of years.
Yeah.
Well,
Right, well,
Tannehill
let's-
also isn't as good as everybody thinks he is.
What's that?
Tannehill's not as good as everybody thinks he is.
He's okay if he doesn't make mistakes. If he makes
He's good if he has talent around him.
right, he's lost a lot of like AJ Brown. I think going to the Phillies was a tough loss for him to lose.
Yeah.
yeah,
And
I mean,
Tennessee also didn't have a lot of their players on defense either, so they had some injuries themselves out for the game too. So, I mean, you put some more defensive back on Tennessee's defense, I think the game becomes closer.
that makes sense. But all right, week 2 is over. We're gonna cut it from there. Let's look at the Steelers and Browns game. And I know week 1, I said that the injury to Dak Prescott was the biggest injury that came out of week 1. But from the way week 2 went, I definitely, I have to apologize to you, Justin, because you were like, yeah, the TJ Watt injury was absolutely the biggest one. And
I mean, you don't have to- I mean,
the way the games went, like showed that you were absolutely right on that. Because
to
the
apologize.
Steelers.
I think
Yeah,
that
hey.
Dak Prescott's injury is tough, and so is the Steelers. I don't. I mean,
Well,
I
I
think
hope
you
the Steelers are tough. They're Steelers.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
their run
mean-
defense has been kind of very thin.
Non-existent.
I mean, I think, I mean, Dak Prescott's been injured before, so I don't know if. I mean, he's went out with that ACL injury last year, and then this year he's got.
Had Andy Dalton.
I mean, TJ Watt. I mean, you can't replace somebody like TJ Watt. It's tough, and you don't have him. I think it's tough, and I don't know if I would put the Dak Prescott injury over TJ Watt, but I'm just saying that TJ Watt's a player, and it changes the whole way the Steelers defense have played, and him not being there is tough.
I mean, and I'm not gonna, fault either on that. But when we were looking at things, like we were looking at the depth, like Dak Prescott's injury had when he tore his ACL, like he was it a tear? I forget. Well, the last time, when he got injured during his contract negotiations and whatnot, they had Andy Dalton.
Right.
This time around, with this injury, his backup is Cooper Rush.
Yeah.
and Cooper Rush didn't have the the NFL credentials, the credo, anything for that. And so I mean, yeah, we didn't know what to expect. I mean, kudos to the Dallas defense, because the Dallas defense is what carried them in that game mainly.
Right.
And
I mean, it's not like the Steelers have a playmaker to back up TJ Watt. They don't.
And I mean, with defense, it's always got to be next man up.
I mean, you have to. You have to look.
I mean, that's the mentality you got to have. I mean,
I mean, that's what they're trained
talking about
for.
the
That's why
Bills,
we have second and third stringers, because somebody gets hurt, someone else has got to step up, and they usually do.
Absolutely. I mean, some do, some don't. They're going to be tested. They're going to be tested often. I mean, look at Buffalo. Buffalo lost Micah Hyde for the season.
That's gonna hurt.
A neck injury. That's gonna hurt. But
next man up, next person,
next man up. That's the way to do it.
I mean, when somebody said the other day, and I thought it was great. You can't just replace Micah Hyde. That is a hard one to replace. But
hey, it's a team sport. And
I mean, that's what the second stringers are trained for, to step up when somebody gets hurt. That's their shot.
But yeah, and I mean, that's kind of not gelled yet with the Steelers. The Browns were able to run down the throats. Mitchell Trubisky was, Mitchell Trubisky.
He's not the answer for the Steelers.
I mean, he wasn't supposed to be the answer for the Steelers. He's just a bridge.
They really should. They should start Kenny Pickett. That's.
Yeah.
I think it's about any time to start. Trubisky's a good backup, and that's all Trubisky will ever be good for. He was good when he was with the Bears, but now he should be a backup, because that's where he should be. Do you start Kenny Pickett, and what if he struggles?
Then they have Mitchell Trubisky. Yeah, that's pretty much
it.
Yeah,
but you can't put Pickett in and then send him back down. You just can't do that. So you got to think. You got to think before you put him in there.
I mean, as a fucking Bills fan, we have seen this stuff before. All right, we saw this. We saw this back in '98, where they went with Flutie, and then they had Johnson, and they switched out, Hot Hand.
Yeah, that was back in 1998.
Yeah, I'm telling you, but I mean, it has happened before.
I know, but you shouldn't. I'm just saying. Just because you can. I understand what you're saying.
Sorry, I had to join from a different profile, because for some reason my Bluetooth decided it didn't want to connect to my car anymore.
Oh, okay.
Fun.
Yeah, so
you driving around and everything.
Any echo or anything?
Yep, I can hear you. So yeah, we have 6 teams that are still undefeated. Kansas City, Buffalo, Miami, Philly, Tampa Bay, and the Giants. And the Eagles. All right. So at least one of these undefeated teams are not going to be undefeated at the end of the day, because we have Buffalo and Miami facing each other in the game of the week that everybody's going to be looking at. But Kansas City has the Colts.
I'm surprised it's not a 4:00 game with how big the game is.
They don't flex anything until week 13. You know that.
They should.
Yeah, probably. This would have been a Sunday night game. Philly versus Washington. Tampa Bay has Green Bay, and Monday night the Giants have the Cowboys. So, of those matchups, who do you see falling?
Giants.
Eagles.
Tampa Bay. Giants and Tampa Bay today, I think.
So, I'm gonna say the Bills are gonna be knocked down today. from Miami because of injuries in a short week, and they're playing Miami at home. I see the Eagles are probably going to lose to the Commanders today
I can see
because
that.
it's Commanders at home, and it's a divisional game for Philly. Divisional games for any team are very screwy, so they can go anywhere with that.
The only reason I think Buffalo's not going down today because I think their offense is just going to put up enough points to where they're going to be fine. Miami's
that's how you win a football game.
Miami's defense is not that great. Josh Allen's going to put up at least 35 points, and they're going to somehow come away with a win.
And then I also see the Giants losing to Dallas.
I see the Giants going down today. I don't think they're going to be undefeated after today. That's just
and probably Green Bay, Tampa Bay.
I see Tampa Bay going down in that one. See Packers taking out the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, so many weapons are down in Tampa Bay. It's easy to kind of see them going.
The ready ball for Tom.
Tom Brady chopped off his finger.
No, he did not chop off his finger. Yeah,
that's what they said.
Had it.
Yeah, what is with?
I think that would have been breaking news, but anyways.
Yeah, seriously, if he had chopped off his finger, that'd have been ESPN top story. There'd have been
shut up about it.
There'd have been finger watch, Tom Brady chops off his finger, sends it to his wife, hey, kind of stuff like that. How about your boy?
But just on ice.
How about your boy?
But yeah, so
yeah, right. What the heck is Wentz doing? What the fuck is he doing?
What?
Carson Wentz stuff.
He's being weird and watching NFL Game Day. He's being weird. All right.
Hey,
doing some kind of weird dance.
I mean, Dak did a weird dance thing when he did his warm-up.
Sure would have been able to videotape that and show you. It was just weird. Anyways, back to what we were
back to sports ball. All right, so basically, we're going to do is we're going to go through the week 3 games. We're going to go through kind of a lightning round kind of deal where we're going to go Ben, Justin, then me. We're going to go through all the games that are playing today, and we're going to say one thing we expect to see from it and who we think are going to win. We'll start off with New Orleans and Carolina. So, Ben, take it away. What one thing you see, and who do you think is going to win?
Yeah, he's gone.
He dropped out again. So go ahead, Justin.
Carolina, New Orleans. I see Carolina winning that. Honestly, the Saints aren't that great, so I see Carolina taking that game. I think they get off the 9-game losing streak, and I think they knock off New Orleans today.
I see Baker having a little bit of more time in the pocket, being able to throw the ball a little bit. And I see Carolina squeaking out the game against New Orleans.
I mean, they've been very close to getting a win this year, and I think they finally come through with a win today.
Yeah, I mean, for most teams, luck is the fourth aspect of playing a football game.
I mean, Jameis Winston is hurt. There's a lot of factors on New Orleans' side. So Jameis Winston's got fractures in his back. So, I mean, I don't see New Orleans. I mean, I see it being a close game, but I see Carolina sneaking away and taking it.
All right. Remember, rapid fire. Houston and Chicago. What do you see, Justin?
I know. I see Chicago actually taking that one.
That's pretty much all I see out of that game too. A little bit of next to nothing. Not much offense. Chicago gets the win. Kansas City versus Indianapolis.
Definitely Kansas City. Indianapolis sucks. I mean, they're not great. So I see Kansas City. I see Indianapolis continuing to struggle. So Kansas City with that one.
Yeah, but I see a little bit more of the same. I got Kansas City win, and
I don't see much. I see a lot of offense for Kansas City and not much for Indianapolis. Kind of like last week with Jacksonville.
All right, Buffalo, Miami. What do you see?
Toss up, turnovers. I think it's going to be a big factor. I think I'm going to take a shot at this one. I know me and you will probably differ on this one, but I'd take Buffalo. I think they're going to squeak away with it just barely, but I think they're going to come out with a win. Knock Miami off. I think it's going to be a very good game, but I think Buffalo takes it.
Miami winning.
All right, Ben, you want to go Buffalo, Miami, one thing you see, and then who you think's going to win?
Yeah, Buffalo's going to exploit Tua and his weak-ass arm, and Buffalo's going to win by 6 points.
I'm great with that.
I see it's going to come down to the final possession, but I'm going to say it's going to be Miami that pulls out the win. Detroit, Minnesota. Ben, one thing you see coming from this game?
Detroit is a good young team, but they almost blew it against Washington last week. Minnesota, I don't know what to think of them right now. I don't know who they are. They have no identity right now. So I'm going Detroit.
All right, Justin?
Jace, I don't know. That's a tough one to call. I don't know. You don't know what Vikings team you're going to get, and you don't know what Lions team you're going to get. But if I had to choose, I guess I would say Detroit. I mean, I don't know, that's a tough one. I don't know how to talk about that one.
All right, thing I get from this game, take the over. I'm going to go with the Vikings. See a lot of points. Baltimore versus New England. What do you see, Ben?
I see Mac Jones struggling against Baltimore's defense. And I see Lamar Jackson keeping his trend of being the leading rusher in Baltimore and only passing for maybe 179 yards and 1 touchdown.
All right, and Justin?
I'm sorry, what game was that?
Baltimore, New England.
And I don't know. Patriots haven't been that great this year. I don't think they get in it against Baltimore. I think Baltimore takes that today by probably 14 points. I see Baltimore.
I see Baltimore walking away with it. I see at least 2 touchdowns for Mark Andrews today. So I'll let you boy.
I'll take that.
All right. Cincinnati and the Jets. Do you see anything out of this game, Ben?
I don't see how the Cincinnati Bengals are going to win. They haven't been doing good at all this year. They've struggled a lot, especially Joe Burrow. The Jets, surprisingly, are doing better than I thought they would be doing.
Same.
I think it's just because of Joe Flacco. He knows how to manage a game. He's a vet. I'm going with Jets. I'm going to say Joe Flacco is trying to go out and win a Super Bowl win. Let's go Jets.
All right. What about you, Justin?
I actually see, honestly, the Jets are kind of surprising this year, so I take Jets. Flacco continues his 300-yard passing game, and I think the Jets continue to kind of shock a little bit. So I think Jets take that one over Cincinnati.
I see Cincinnati actually learning to block today, and give Joe Burrow at least some sort of protection, and giving Joe Mixon some running lanes. I see Cincinnati pulling off what is an improbable upset of the New York Jets, who S-U-C-K suck.
I'll let you.
And also some breaking news: Gabe Davis is actually going to be playing for the Buffalo Bills today against Miami. So there's some good news for the Buffalo Bills on that front with the injuries. So let's go to Raiders and Titans. What do you see out of this game, Ben?
Is he gone again?
Probably gone again. Justin, what do you see Raiders and Titans?
Honestly, the Titans are my continuous is that the Raiders are going to beat the Titans again. I think that the Titans are not what everybody expected them to be, so I take Raiders take that game. This one.
You don't hear me?
I can hear you. All right.
You're back now.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm choosing the Raiders are going to come out with a win.
Luckily, I mean, luck right now has not been on the Raiders' side.
It hasn't been on the Titans side either.
I mean, Titans haven't really been that good, either. But definitely, I see the Raiders getting the win actually this week over the troubled Tennessee Titans squad. I see Carr throwing for 303 touchdowns in this game.
Statement, Cotton.
Hey, that's your boy. Let's go to Philly and the Commanders. What do you see out of this game?
All right. So, as a Commanders fan, I see.
Oh my God, we've already lost Ben.
You didn't lose me. I'm right here. You hear me?
Oh, I heard a Commanders fan, and then
My bad. Jeez.
That's funny.
Commanders fan, I see this coming down to the last possession. Philadelphia usually likes to blow it at the end against Washington lately. I see Wentz coming back as a revenge game, and I see him throwing for 350 yards, 3 touchdowns. I think Dotson's going to have at least 1 touchdown. McLaurin's going to have a touchdown. Samuel is going to have a touchdown, and Gibson's going to have a touchdown.
Gee whiz, your touchdown, Oprah.
That's right.
Everybody gets a touchdown.
Oh, you get a touchdown. You get a touchdown. Everybody gets a touchdown.
Everybody gets a touchdown.
As I was looking at the stats compared to Jalen Hurts and Carson Wentz last week, Jalen Hurts only threw for 173 yards, I believe it was. Wentz threw for
all he needed.
Wentz threw 300 some yards. He didn't throw a single touchdown. Hurts did not throw a single touchdown.
Wow.
His leading receiver, AJ Brown, didn't have a touchdown, obviously. So
The defense carried that game, man. Yeah, like they didn't need to.
I don't think Jalen Hurts is their
Man
answer.
down.
I'm struggling. Front defensive line, they're going to get a lot of pressure on them. And just like on Madden earlier this week, I played against them. I'm predicting a fumble by Hurts and Sweat running it in for a touchdown. You heard it here, folks.
All right, that's a little bold statement there. A little bold. All right, so from there we go to Los Angeles, the Chargers versus the Jags. What do you see out of this game?
To the Chargers, I don't think the Broncos are that great, so I think the Chargers take that one.
Well, the Jaguars against the Chargers.
Oh, well, I see the Jaguars continuing their strong defense because Justin Herbert is hurt. So I mean,
Herbert Sherbert.
He went Jalen Hurt.
Herbert. Like,
Oh man, ow.
I'll let you, boy.
Yeah, I'll at my back.
Ayo.
But no, I see this game going down to whether Herbert plays or not.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to play. So,
I mean, winners want to play. Winners want the ball.
I mean, is it gonna
Winners
hurt when he gets
want the
got rib
ball,
injuries? Is it
Russell
gonna hurt when
Wilson.
he gets hit in the ribs, especially against a tough Jaguars defense? I take Jaguars. Jaguars continue to shock the world.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Rams and the Cardinals. What do you see? I see a good game. That's what I see.
Rams.
On paper, you see a good game.
I definitely do. Especially, it is in Arizona, so it's going to definitely be closer. The Rams have kind of had some struggles this year in terms of playing the game. The Cardinals, Cardinals have been the Cardinals. But I'm definitely going with the Rams because the Cardinals ain't proved it to me lately. Kyler Murray's probably playing one too many games in Fortnite.
I don't know, that contract thing with that he went to sign his contract, and then that was he just hasn't been the same this year.
Well, he got his contract. Yep. One of Russell Wilson.
Yep. All right. So we go to Seattle. The kind of like dull game of the week. Seattle versus the Falcons.
Oh God.
I mean, and speaking of the Falcons, anybody see Appalachian State below that 28-3 lead that they had? I didn't know it was bull season.
I mean, I'm gonna have to pick somebody. I don't even see that game. There's, I guess, Falcons. I guess.
Yeah, like somebody's got to win.
Falcons.
I mean, doesn't have to be pretty. Could be a 3-0 game. I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely see the Falcons winning this one. Green Bay versus Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay hurt enough to lose. I don't know. I wouldn't say shootout. I mean, if Tampa Bay had all their weapons and like this,
I say Green Bay. I think Green Bay knocking off Tampa. In a very close game, though, Green Bay knocking off Tampa Bay, and that's not by a lot.
I see Green Bay winning the time of possession battle and beating Tampa Bay.
I mean, you got to keep Tom Brady on the sidelines. That's how you beat Tom Brady.
I just don't think that the weapons there are going to be enough in Tampa Bay. Evans suspended, Rodgers,
Godwin's out. Julio Jones is not healthy. Mike Evans suspended.
Yeah, we might see Cole Beasley get a touchdown.
Did you say Mike Evans is suspended?
Yeah, he got suspended for that fight last week.
Yeah, because apparently Tom Brady was instigating it.
And Tom Brady got nothing. White quarterbacks.
Tom Brady said something to Lattimore, and Mike Evans went after the other one. Went after him.
Well, I didn't see that.
It was a big fight last week.
All right, so San Francisco versus Denver. What do you got?
Let's go.
What do you say?
Not much. Not much.
Winners want to win, and Garoppolo wants to prove that he's not a slouch. I'm going 49ers. Winners want to win, losers want to lose. Sorry, Russell.
Yeah, Russell is not paid up to. I mean, he got paid in Seattle.
Everybody said
he was going to be the.
Yeah, right. Doesn't look the same years.
Got in a hand. Name was Nathaniel Hackett.
It's stupid. Darn it, coach. So
terrible. Terrible.
He's about as good as a Charles Barkley golf swing.
Terrible.
But seriously, winners want the ball in their hand when the game is on the line. And I see this game as a game of guys who do not want the ball in their hand when the game's on the line.
Nope.
Really. Jimmy G, and Russell Wilson's just showing it. Oof.
He was.
Yeah. Next, we have Dallas versus the Giants. Was Cooper Rush's last week, was that a fluke, or is that actually Dallas being better than they were?
So,
really?
I mean,
the Giants go down today. I think Giants go down. They
go down today.
So Cowboys.
Yeah, Ben, what you got?
Cowboys.
All right, and that is all from the week 3 picks. Is there anything you guys see else coming from the games or anything like that in the NFL?
Yeah, I got one thing to say.
What you got?
Fuck the Cowboys.
You heard it here first. Ben is fuck the Cowboys.
Holla at your boy.
Or holla at them boys. There you go. But
speaking of hollering at your boy, right now, Fanatics, they have a sale going on. You get 65% off of select items. Use their promo code. Click our link in the bio below. we get something, you get.
And I mean, like the Fanatics, not only did they have that 65% off sale, they just
I'm gonna leave
announced the
Guys, like,
here. Okay?
all right, Justin, you take care.
You
Have
too.
a good week.
We'll talk to you. We'll talk to you guys
but
later
yeah.
tonight. So you don't want to do a podcast tonight,
Yep.
right? All right. Well, catch you.
Yep,
Yeah.
we'll do the after game
Catch you.
ones. So we'll see you then.
Yep.
All
Bye.
right, continue your Fanatics plug.
But yeah, so Fanatics, they announced this week some NBA figures, for that collection line. Last week, they came out with a new NFL line of apparel. So
They also have
basically,
that Crucial Catch lineup too. Very different. It's colorful in some hats.
hey, I mean, definitely. This is the time of year. The good part in the season to start getting your Christmas stuff in order. I know it's not Halloween yet, but
No.
the sooner you get all that Christmas stuff out of the way, the better.
And they
For
also have WWE shop on there too now. Fanatics added that on there. If anybody likes wrestling apparel, they have. Speaking of Crucial Catch, they also have the Connor's Cure. Any proceeds that you buy that has like a cancer shirt for WWE, proceeds will go towards Connor's Cure.
absolutely, definitely a good cause there. So, as always kind of like wrapping up, definitely a good slate of some games on here. Definitely a couple of snoozers, some, that are definitely, in my opinion, going to be some real close barn burner type games. But definitely, to our listeners, definitely thank you so much for continuing with us on this journey with us through the NFL season. Please, as always, follow if you like us. Send us an email. That gives us feedback, or if you have any questions, we can field them on the show. We are always looking to get better.
Give us a
Always.
rating on your favorite podcast as well. The ratings help us get known, get seen on the podcast too. So ratings help.
Yeah, basically, and it helps us see what we're doing. We're doing this for the love of the game, and you listening to us is definitely helpful with that. So thank you, and no matter what, uh, hope the games are fun that you watch today.
Hope your
And as always, good season.
Hope your team wins. Minus, fuck the Cowboys.
Or the Dolphins.
Fuck the Dolphins.